Court is in session and calls number 330706. Case is filed with State of Texas versus Major Trussell Randall. We have Ms. Randall appearing via Zoom. Ms. Randall, you could take your mic off of mute. Good morning, Ms. Randall.
Hi, how you doing? Good morning.
Okay, I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Ms. Randall, you're represented by your attorney, Bruce Cobb. Mr. Cobb, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine, Your Honor.
Mr. Cobb, what's your announcement in Ms. Randall's case?
Well, before I make an announcement, Your Honor, I've been given an offer, but I have not yet seen her discovery. I need to do that discovery certification before we make a formal announcement.
So you
So,
need your case reset to get discovery? Is that what you're saying?
yes, Your Honor, that's what I need.
Okay, give us a reset date.
Calendar because I can't get any.
Okay, Mr. Cobb, they say they can't get any recess to you. You're gonna have to put this on your calendar. The court date is June 17th, 2022. It's gonna be at 9 a.m. Ms. Randall, stay in contact with your attorney. Your case has been reset to June 17th of 2022 at 9 a.m. Ms. Randall, you're free to go. You have a blessed day. Mr. Cobb, is this your only case?
Yes, Your Honor, I believe so. What
Okay.
am I doing? Is this trial? Should we
No,
set
it's
it on the
not
trial
the
docket?
You said you needed time to get discovery,
Yeah, that's what I need. I need to
so
do
it's
that if
still
I
on the
can.
master docket.
Okay.
All right, so this
Okay.
case is reset to June 17th of
Yes, Your Honor.
2022. All right,
That'd be fine.
all right, you free to go. You have a blessed day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, you free to go as well, Miss Randall. You have a blessed day.
Okay, you too as well.
Next case is cause number 330698. Case is style of State of Texas versus Sergio Omar Salazar. We have Mr. Salazar appearing via Zoom. Mr. Salazar, you can take your mic off of mute.
All right, thank you, sir.
Mr. Salazar, how are you doing?
Pretty good, sir. And you?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Salazar, you're here representing your case by your attorney, Dustin Galmore, who is also appearing via Zoom. Mr. Galmore, how are you doing?
I'm great, Judge. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Galmore, what is your announcement in Mr. Salazar's case?
We just need a little more time to finish going over discovery, and I think we're going to apply for pretrial diversion.
Okay. Let's give us, when is the next pretrial? Is it June? Yeah, give us a date in June, second week of June. Okay, we're gonna reset the case for, which one is better for your calendar, June 10 or June 17?
Either one is fine with me, Judge.
Okay, we go with June 17th. Okay, this case has been reset to June 17th, 2022. Mr. Galmore, your reset will be sent to you, and Mr. Salazar, your case has been reset to June 17th, 2022. Your attorney and your bondsman will be given notice of your reset. This will conclude your case. Mr. Salazar, you're free to go, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, sir. You too.
Okay, Mr. Galmore, is this your only case?
It is, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, you're free to go as well, and you have a blessed day.
You too.
Thank you. Mr. Gonzalez, put your mic on mute, please.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Gonzalez, please put your mic on mute.
Poquito English.
Okay, we're gonna need an interpreter for him. Who is this? That's Jerry Gilkoff's client. Okay. Court is in session and cause number 331242, case of style of state of Texas versus Matthew Joseph Bailey. Mr. Bailey, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Bailey?
Fantastic.
That's good. Mr. Bailey, you're represented by your attorney Glenn Crocker. Attorney Crocker, how are you doing?
I'm fine, Judge. Thank you for asking.
Okay, and the state is represented by Attorney Blake Ham. Attorney Ham, how are you doing?
Doing well, thank you, Judge.
Mr. Crocker, what's your announcement, in Mr. Bailey's case?
Your Honor, we're going to need to set this on the trial docket. We were able to dispose of the underlying case that was the PC for the stop.
Okay,
So we're kind of whittling away at this case as we go.
okay. Give us a trial date.
7/18.
It's gonna be reset to July 18th of 2022. Mr. Crocker, you can get your reset, sign for the reset. Once you get your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day, Mr. Bailey. Y'all can stand over there.
You have a
You're
blessed day
welcome.
as well.
Thank you. Just let us know when Mr. Allen show up.
Yes, sir. I'm going to look for it.
You need to say, just go sign first.
No, that's not. Mr. Coleman?
Yes.
I just tagged that one up there. Yeah. There's something going.
Hey, Judge, I'm here. This Langston.
Yeah, I know. We know. We just waiting for them to take care of some stuff in court. Next case is Abriana Monique Nelson. We're in session and cause number 327-594. Case is style of state of Texas versus Abriana Monique Nelson. Ms. Nelson, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How are you doing, Ms. Nelson? That's good. Ms. Nelson, your attorney of record is Attorney Terrence Allison. Attorney Allison is not here, however, standing in for Attorney Allison is Attorney Marius Allen. Does Mr. Allen have your permission to stand in for Mr. Allison?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And Mr. Allen, how are you doing?
Good, how are you, Your Honor?
I'm doing fine. State is represented by Attorney Tommy Coleman. Attorney Coleman, how are you doing?
Good, Judge.
Mr. Allen, what is your announcement in Ms. Nelson's case?
I believe we're on the verge of dismissal. There was a hearing on the 14th in which she spoke with the probation officer, and they agreed upon allowing her to finish out the rest of her conditions, and she has done so.
Judge, on the recommendation of probation, I'll prepare a dismissal.
Yeah, okay.
It's in the cloud or wherever that stuff goes.
Chambers. Just.
Okay. Okay, this is Brianna Nelson. Ms. Nelson, the state has recommended that this case be dismissed. Is that the probation office recommendation?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just signed the dismissal, Ms. Nelson. And it should be printing off in a few seconds. It's printing now. Your attorney will get you the dismissal. Once you get your dismissal, Ms. Nelson, you'll be free to go. And congratulations on completing your probation. Bobby Ruffin. You give Bobby Ruffin. And if, see if Christopher Harris is here. Bobby Ruffin, come forward. This is cause number 325252. Case is style of state of Texas versus Bobby Lee Ruffin. Ms. Ruffin, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Ms. Ruffin?
I'm okay, sir.
I'm doing fine. Mr. Bailey. Ms. Ruffin, you're represented here by your attorney, Mr. Langston Adams, who's appearing via Zoom. Mr. Adams, how are you doing?
Hey, Judge, I'm doing well.
What is your announcement in Ms. Ruffin's case?
Hey, Judge, if you wouldn't mind one final reset on that case. I think, is it Mr. Tommy has that case or Mr. Blake has it?
Blake Ham, he's at the bench right now.
Your Honor, it is Blake Ham for now, but it will be Kathleen Nelson come Monday.
Yeah, you'll have a different prosecutor Monday.
Well, what I wanted, Judge, and it's my fault, not the state's fault. They sent me the link for Beaumont PD because on this case, this is not one of the cases where you pick up the DVD from. It's a link. but I let that link expire. So Blake, would you mind restating that link for me so I can pull it back up and show her? It's from Beaumont PD. It's the link that y'all email.
I'll see what I can do. I'll be in touch with you about that, Mr. Adams.
Okay, thank you. That's all I want you to do is just to read, because it expires after so long. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you just standard reset?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, it's gonna be reset to June 17th of 2022. Mr. Adams, your reset will be sent to you. Ms. Ruffin, you can get a copy of your reset here in court. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you.
Next case is cause number 330002. Case is style of State of Texas versus Christopher Ray Harris. Okay, this is cause number 330002. Case is style of State of Texas versus Christopher Ray Harris. We have Mr. Christopher Ray Harris who's appearing in court. Mr. Harris, how are you doing?
All right.
Mr. Harris, you're represented by your attorney, Mr. Langston Adams. Mr. Adams, what is your announcement in Mr. Harris's case?
On Mr. Harris's case, I believe that one is with Mr. Tommy Coleman. I know he sent me an email, this correspondent this week. I have not opened it. As you know, I've been in trial since Monday. So if you wouldn't mind, Judge, let me read his email and I can get with my client and see if there's something we can do. But I know he sent me an email this week. Isn't that right, Mr. Coleman?
That's correct, Mr. Adams.
Okay,
Right.
you need a standard reset?
Yeah, and I can get with Mr. Coleman. That's not a problem. But like I said, and Mr. Coleman knew, and I let the office know I was in trial in Judge Rogers and Orange this week.
Okay. Okay, it's gonna be reset till June 17th, 2022. Mr. Harris, you can get your reset here in court. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go. You'll stand on that 4X. And Mr. Adams, your reset will be sent to you. And
Okay,
Mr.
thank you, Judge, and have a wonderful weekend.
Okay, this is your only case, your last case, so you're free to go and you have a blessed day.
Hey, look, you can see I done lost my voice. I've been talking too much in court.
Oh, okay. All right.
Take it easy.
All right, we'll see you later. You have a blessed
Bye-bye.
day. Yes, sir. Okay. Listen. Donald Beverly. Here we go. Court is in session in cause number 331000. The case is style of State of Texas versus Donald Beverly.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Beverly, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Beverly, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Beverly, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, sir.
You may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Beverly?
I'm doing fine. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Beverly, you are represented in your case by your attorney, Mel Shalander. Attorney Shalander, how are you doing?
Okay for an old guy, Judge.
Now, Mr. Shalander, do you waive a record in Mr. Beverly's case?
We do.
Mr. Beverly, I have before me an information that alleges that on or about October 7th of 2021, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of criminal trespass. Mr. Beverly, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Mr. Beverly, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
Now, are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Beverly, I also have before me a document that is titled misdemeanor plea admonishment, is also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of the same document, Mr. Beverly, there are a set of initials that are on a line next to a box that's checked nolo contendere, which means no contest. Are these your initials? Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
And on the next page of the same document, there's a signature above the line that's titled defendant. Is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
On the next document, which is titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
There's one box that's checked at the top of this document. The first box that's checked states that this is, the box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
You have the discovery certification. I also have a document here that's titled discovery certification. You recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Beverly, before you signed and initialed these documents, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Beverly, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit Number 1, the misdemeanor plea admonishment. State, you like to offer State's Exhibit Number 1
Sure.
and State's Exhibit Number 2?
Sure, Your Honor. State offers both states 1 and 2.
Okay, no objection. State's Exhibits Number 1 and 2 are admitted. Mr. Shalander, you've advised and counseled Mr. Beverly. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your
Mr. Beverly, your attorney, Mr. Shalander, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his services?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Mr. Beverly, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
What is that agreement?
In exchange for the defendant's plea of no contest in this case, the state's recommending confinement in the Jefferson County Jail for a period of 90 days. However, we're asking that the court suspend the imposition of that sentence, place the defendant on community supervision for a period of 1 year, order that he pay a fine of $500, perform 50 hours of community service, and that he, in addition to the
Yeah,
standard
dog.
of probation, we ask that he also have no contact with Vonda Randall Beverly. Barry, excuse me, Judge, Barry.
Okay. Mr. Beverly, the state is offering that you serve 90 days in the Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not have to serve any time in the Jefferson County Jail because you will be placed on probation for 1 year. During the 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a $500 fine and court costs of $307, which comes to a total of fine and court costs of $807. You will be required to pay a probation fee of $60 each month, a urinalysis fee of $15 each month. Your total monthly installments, that is the total amount that you will be required to pay while you're on probation, is $150 per month. Will you be able to pay the $150 each month? You'll also be required to perform 50 hours of community service. You cannot have any contact with Vonda Randall Berry, and you will also be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of this probation. Mr. Beverly, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
And do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Beverly, I will accept your plea bargain agreement. You can stand on the X next to your attorney and gonna follow the directions of our court clerk. Once you finish following her directions, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day.
Yes, sir. Lake Charles.
Well, you could, I guess if you're worrying about travel and stuff like that, you gotta discuss that with your probation officer.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Could you write down? Square.
Mr. Donata, make sure your mic is on mute. When we call your case, you can take it off of mute. Your attorney is not here right now.
Yes, sir.
Raise your right hand. You swear that you've never before been given deferred adjudication or regular probation for a felony or misdemeanor in this or any other state except for what's listed here. And you further swear nothing else is pending. Nothing else is pending.
Eddie Davila Alanis. This is cause number 322362. Case is styled the state of Texas versus Eddie Davila Alanis. Mr. Davila Alanis, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How are you doing, Mr. Davila Alanis? I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. And Mr. Davila Alanis, you represented by attorney Brendan Mitchell. Mr. Mitchell, how are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, Judge. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. Mr. Mitchell, what is your announcement in Mr. Davila Alanis case?
We're asking for one more reset, Your Honor, because I still have not received discovery. I'm gonna take care of that today.
How much time do you need?
No more than 30 days, Judge.
Give us it's gonna be reset to June 17th
Okay.
of 2022. You can sign for your reset. Once you get reset, you'll be free to go. You can get your reset from your attorney. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go. You have a blessed day, Mr. Davila Alanis, and you have a blessed day, Mr. Mitchell.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Is Harold Mitchell, Michael Harold here? That's Mr. Reynolds' case.
Judge, I talked to him yesterday. He was to appear by Zoom. I gave him the Zoom information.
Well, he hadn't appeared
He has
yet.
not appeared.
Okay,
I've tried to contact him and I'll try one more time. Judge.
okay,
State would ask his name be called at the courthouse door.
okay. Let's see. This is cause number 325078, case of style of state of Texas versus Michael Dwayne Harrell. Michael Dwayne Harrell was scheduled to be in court this morning at 9 a.m. for the court's announcement docket. Mr. Harrell, name was called at about 9 a.m. by the court's bailiff at the courthouse door. Mr. Harrell did not answer. Mr. Harrell has not appeared in court since the court's been in session. Mr. Harrell's attorney is here, Mr. Nathan Reynolds, who stated that he was expecting Mr. Harrell to appear via Zoom. He has not appeared via Zoom. Mr. Bailiff, would you please call the name of Michael Harrell at the courthouse door? Okay. Okay, Michael Harrell's name was just called at the courthouse door. Michael Harrell did not answer. The time now is 9:37 a.m. on today's date of April 29th of 2022. Reasonable time has passed to give Mr. Harrell an opportunity to appear in court. He has not appeared in court. The state has moved for a bond forfeiture. That motion will be granted. Michael Harrell's bond will be forfeited and the warrant shall be issued for his arrest in clause number 325078. And Mr. Nathan Reynolds, you're excused. And if,
Could you give me about 15 minutes?
Yeah, okay.
Hold interest.
okay, yeah, it hadn't been put into the system yet.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll give you some time.
Let me check. All right, thanks.
Okay. Cleveland Chambers. Court is in session in two cases. First case is cause number 318966. Second case is cause number 322442. Both cases are style of State of Texas versus Cleveland James Chambers Jr. Mr. Chambers, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Chambers, you're here represented by your attorney, Ms. Laura Perazzo. Ms. Perazzo, how are you doing?
Doing really well, thank you.
That's fine. And Mr. Chambers, how are you doing? Okay. State, do y'all have a recommendation or did y'all have an agreement in this case?
Revocation, sir.
Okay, and Ms. Perazzo?
Your Honor, it's my understanding that Mr. Chambers was at some point diligently paying all of his fees. That was the only thing that was lacking as far as I was originally told. And it's my understanding that there is an outstanding balance of approximately $500 that's left.
What is the balance, Mr. Probation Officer?
The balance on one case is 877 and on the second case is 1,072.
Okay,
So, Your Honor, I would, of course, request that we have a hearing so Mr. Chambers can explain to the court what his issues have been.
so you want to contest it hearing? That's what you're asking for?
Well, if the state is pursuing a revocation, then absolutely.
And yes, Your Honor, there are other failures of probation conditions aside from failure.
Okay, well, if we want to hear, we'll give you hearing. Court coordinator, you need a court date.
Your Honor, I spoke with the defendant prior to court. If he could start making the payments, he did have a diligent history of making the payments, but in November they stopped.
So do we want to change our recommendation?
If he could start making the payments again.
Well,
yeah.
Your Honor, we'll follow the guidance and we'd request we'll change our request for revocation and request the case be reset for 90 days to give him an opportunity to pay.
A 90-day reset?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, how much is he gonna pay within the 90 days? Do we know? Oh, do we have an amount?
Mr. Chambers?
Oh, Chambers, are you working?
No, sir, I don't work right now, but I just started working for Cooper Staffing. My first day was Friday.
Oh, so you just started working,
Yes, sir.
okay. So you're gonna give him 90 days. How much do you want him to pay within the 90-day period? Do y'all have an amount? What was he paying before?
He was paying $100 a month.
So that'd be $300 in 90 days?
Yes, sir.
Would you be able to pay that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, so he's gonna pay $300, 90-day reset. Give us a date. Okay, you can get your reset from our court coordinator. Once you get your reset, Mr. Chambers, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
Thank you.
And you're welcome. You have to sign for the reset, Ms. Perazzo. Is Rashad Carter here?
Your Honor, I tried contacting him and
Calling
spoke
out.
with his mother. That was the only number that we had. She said that he was aware of his court date. I have not been able to get in touch with him though.
Okay, he has a bondsman, Al, yeah. No response on Rashad Carter? Okay. Rashad Carter in cause number 325454 was scheduled to be in court this morning at 9 a.m. for the court's motion to revoke probation docket. At or about 9 a.m., the court's bailiff called the name of Rashad Carter. Rashad Carter did not answer. Rashad Carter has not appeared in court since the court has been in session. The time now is 9:43. The bailiff has just called the name of Rashad Carter again. He did not answer. A reasonable time has passed to give Mr. Carter an opportunity to appear in court. He has not appeared in court. State, do you have a motion?
Your Honor, state moves for bond forfeiture.
Okay, that motion will be granted. And Ms. Ferrazzo, if you need some more time, if you want to try to contact me, you can. So at this, I think this is your last case. You're excused, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Hold on a minute. Michael Harrell, okay.
Yeah, we just made a bailiff call for him. He did not appear. I talked to him yesterday, gave him the Zoom number. He was supposed to appear by Zoom. I called him this morning. His voicemail doesn't answer, it goes straight to voicemail. His mailbox is full. I've text messaged him, given the Zoom number. My office has also tried to call him, the same result.
Okay.
And I'd like to be excused.
Yeah, you excuse.
Okay,
All
thank
right.
you.
All right. Okay, at this time, the court is going to be in recess. Okay, this is cause number 328032. Case of South State of Texas versus Christopher Allen. Mr. Allen, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Allen, do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Allen, you may put your hand down. Now, earlier the court received a motion for new trial in this case. State, you did not have any objections, is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
And pursuant to the law in this case, and the research that the court has done, this motion will be granted and he's given a new trial as to punishment. State have the state and the defense reached an agreement regarding the punishment.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and what is that agreement?
Your Honor, the agreement is for everything to remain the same, except we're adding a $500 fine.
Okay, is that correct, Mr. Crocker?
That is absolutely correct, Your Honor.
Okay, now,
And of
Mr.
course, we're taking off the $6,000 fine.
Right, okay, now, Mr. Allen, the state is offering that you serve 180 days in Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not be required to serve 180 days because you'll be placed on probation for 18 months. And you'll be required to pay a $500 fine during the probationary period, court costs of $422, which comes to a total of $922. But that's the total fine and court costs. The probation fee is $60 each month. You pay a year analysis fee of $15 each month. You also will pay, and you probably already paid the Jefferson County DWI education class and initial evaluation fee of $125. Should a further evaluation be needed, you'll be required to pay an additional $50. Now, your total monthly installments for this charge is $130 per month. Mr. Allen, will you be able to pay the $130 each month?
Yes, sir.
You'll also be required to perform 80 hours of community service, attend and complete a DWI education class, and have a drug and alcohol assessment. You'll be required to install a DWI interlock device on any vehicle that you own or operate. This case will run concurrent with cause number 20-35500. Let me repeat that, cause number 20-35500. And you will also be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of this probation. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now, because you're already on probation, the $60 probation fee, in this case, you won't have to pay it. So in essence, instead of paying $130 a month, you'll probably be paying more like $70 a month. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now, do you think that this offer, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
And do you think that the state's offer is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And so, based on the court's finding that it was an unauthorized sentence and in the interest of justice, you was granted a new trial as to your punishment. And the court is going to follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Now, Mr. Allen, you can stand on the X next to your attorney right here. Follow the directions of our clerk. Once you finish following her directions, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Now, I didn't look at that. Did I? His probation is, yeah, it's going back to the time that he was originally placed on
March
probation.
2nd. That's
Yeah,
the
only thing
thing.
changed was the punishment.
Right, but attending complete because that wasn't on.
Right, right. And I did mention that you had to have an interlock device on any vehicle that you own or operate, right? Okay. Okay, and Mr. Crocker, once you finish, I think that's your last case, right?
It is, Your Honor.
Okay, you have a blessed day, and Mr. Allen, you have a blessed day as well.
You like them at this one? I'm gonna get y'all to sign the tablet with hands. I mean, not the tablet. If you could put your signature right here in the white box, you won't be able to see it.
We got Clint Cole.
I can see it. Right.
Clint Como.
Good morning, y'all.
Good morning. DWIK? Okay, that's that one. Okay. Court is in session in two cases. First case is cause number 328-838. Next case is cause number 328-840. Both cases are style the state of Texas versus Clint Joseph Como. Mr. Como, is that your full name? Mr. Como, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Como, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth so help you God? Mr. Como, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Como? That's good, Mr. Como. You are represented in your case by your attorney, Ms. Marva Provo. Ms. Provo, again, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine.
And Ms. Provo, do you waive the record in Mr. Como's case?
Yes, we do.
Mr. Como, I have before me an information in cause number 328-840. This information alleges that on or about October 25th of 2020, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, in a public place, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated with an alcohol concentration level of 0.15 or more. Mr. Como, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes.
And to this charge, Mr. Como, how do you plead guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No comment.
Now, are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges? Mr. Como, I have before me a document that is titled misdemeanor plea admonishments. Oh, you checked the wrong box. It's a Class A misdemeanor. It should be the top box. Okay, thanks. Mr. Como, I have before me a document that is titled misdemeanor plea admonishment, is also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
On page 2 of the same document, Mr. Como, there's a set of initials, CC, that are on a line next to a box that's checked. No contingent, which means no contest. Did you place your initials on this document? On page 3 of the same document, Mr. Como, there's a signature above the line that's titled defendant. Is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
And the next document that I have is titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal. Do you recognize this document? And is this your signature above the line that's titled defendant? There are 2 boxes that's checked at the top of this document. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
The second box states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Como, I also have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Mr. Como, do you recognize this document? Is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Como, before you signed and initialed these documents, did your attorney go over these documents with you? And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Mr. Como, are you a citizen of the United States? State, I have before me State's Exhibit number 1, the misdemeanor plea admonishment. State, you like to offer State's Exhibit number 2?
Yes, Your Honor. State Office both states 1 and 2.
Okay, no objection. State's Exhibits 1 and 2 are admitted. Ms. Provo, you've advised and counseled Mr. Como. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Como, your attorney, Ms. Provo, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with her representation?
Yes.
Has she provided fully effective and competent legal representation?
Yes.
Mr. Como, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your pleas and waivers are freely and voluntarily given. I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
In exchange for the defendant's plea in this case, we are recommending confinement in the Jefferson County Jail for a period of 180 days. However, we're asking the court to suspend the imposition of that jail sentence and place the defendant on community supervision for a period of 12 months, order that he pay an $800 fine, perform 80 hours of community service, that he comply with all the standard conditions of probation to include a DWI education course, drug and alcohol assessment, an interlock, and also that he forfeit the weapon in the companion case appearing in cause number 328838. And also the state has agreed to dismiss that case pursuant to chapter 1245 of the Texas Penal Code.
Okay. Mr. Como, the state is offering that you serve 180 days in the Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not have to serve any time in the Jefferson County Jail in this case because you'll be placed on probation for 1 year. During the 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $800 plus court costs of $307. This will come to a total of fine and court costs of $1,107. You'll also be required to pay a probation fee of $60 each month, a urinalysis fee of $15 each month. You'll be required to reimburse Jefferson County Court appointed attorney's fees of $250. You'll be required to pay Jefferson County DWI education class and initial evaluation fee of $125 on the day of the plea. Should a further evaluation be needed, you'll be required to pay an additional $50. Now, your total monthly installments that you'll be required to pay while you're on probation is $200 per month. Will you be able to pay the $200 per month?
I should be able to, Your Honor.
Okay. Now, you will also be required to perform 80 hours of community service, attend and complete a DWI education class, have a drug and alcohol assessment, install a DWI interlock device on any vehicle that you own or operate, and you will forfeit the weapon. And that weapon is in cause number 328838, and that case, cause number 328838, will be dismissed pursuant to this plea bargain agreement. You will also be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of this probation. Okay. Como. I have before me a actually, I think you may have to put the other number on here. The weapon was in his UCW case. That case number is 328-838. Yeah. Yeah. We don't need a discovery. Did I give you a discovery certification on that one? I said we didn't need one in this case. Okay, thanks. And Mr. Yeah, the forfeiture is only, I don't think that number need to be there because they didn't have, the weapon was in the other case. He's just. Now, Mr. Como, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, I do.
Do you think that the state's offer in this case is fair and just?
I do. I just have one question. How much the interlock device is going to cost me each month?
You have to check with your probation officer on that. I do not know that. I do not know. And so now, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes.
Do you think that the state's offer is fair and just? Do you accept the state's offer? Okay, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Now, Mr. Como, in cause number 328838, I have before me a motion to forfeit the weapon that has been filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. Mr. Coleman, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Como, do you recognize this motion? And is this your signature on the line that says defendant?
Yes.
Now, prior to signing and initialing this, but prior to signing this document, did your attorney go over this document with you?
Yes.
And did you read it, understand everything in this document?
Yes.
And is everything in this document true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Okay, Mr. Como, the court is going to grant this motion, and the weapon in clause number 328838 will be forfeited to the Groves Police Department. And state, you pursuant to the plea bargain in the previous case, the cause number 328838 will be dismissed. Is that correct?
That's correct, Judge.
Okay. Mr. Como, you can stand on the X next to your attorney, follow the directions of our clerk. And while you're doing that, the court will be signing the dismissal in the unlawful carrying weapon case.
And if you'll sign this black box right there in front of you, you won't be able to see it. Bravo. If you'll raise your right hand. Do you swear that you've never before been given deferred adjudication or regular probation for a felony or misdemeanor in this or any other state? You further swear that nothing else is pending except this other case which is being disposed of today. Okay, so your copies are here.
His dismissal is printing off.
And you need to go over there this morning. Here's the directions on top, and she's gonna give you a copy of your dismissal in just a second.
Hold on a minute. Let's do this here. Okay, court, I see Mr. Reynolds is back on Zoom. Court is back in session in cause number 325078. Case is styled the state of Texas versus Michael Dwayne Harrell. We have Mr. Michael Dwayne Harrell, who is appearing via Zoom. Mr. Harrell's bond was forfeited earlier this morning, actually about an hour ago. I see Mr. Harrell is on Zoom. Mr. Harrell, is your full name Michael Dwayne Harrell?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Harrell, you're represented by your attorney, Mr. Nathan Reynolds. Mr. Reynolds?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Mr.
Yes,
Reynolds?
sir.
I'm present.
Okay.
I'm present, Judge.
State, you have a motion?
And Your Honor, the bond was revoked earlier?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I was part of that. We would withdraw our request.
Okay, so the bond forfeiture motion, the motioner to withdraw the bond forfeiture will be granted, so your bond is not forfeited. Mr. Reynolds, what is your announcement in Mr. Harrell's case?
Judge, I've got a plea bargain from the prosecutor. I need a few days to go over with Mr. Harrell. With Mr. Harrell, I believe the case will be resolved if we could just get a regular resetting. This is our first request for a resetting.
Okay, give us a date. We probably could do the same date. We're gonna reset it to June 17th, 2022.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Harrell, stay in contact with your attorney and your bondsman. They will be given notice of this reset date of June 17th, 2022 at 9 a.m. Mr. Harrell, you're free to go and you have a blessed day. And Mr. Reynolds, you're free to go as well and you have a blessed day.
All right. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you.
Next case is cause number 326710. Case is filed with State of Texas versus Robert Lee Donata III. We have Mr. Donata who is appearing via Zoom. Mr. Donata, you could take your mic off of mute. Michael Harrell. Mr. Donata?
You should be on, Your Honor.
Huh?
You should be on Zoom.
Yeah, I see a picture saying Michael. I see a picture saying Robert Donata, but he's on mute. Now, Mr. Paget, what is your announcement in Mr. Donata's case?
Yes, Your Honor. I've just within the past day or so made contact with the prosecutor on this case. We already had one offer. The prosecutor made an alternative offer. If you would give us 30 days, my client will either accept the probated offer or the fine and court cost, which I've already checked his jail credit as well.
Okay, would June 17 be good for you?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, your case is going to be reset June 17, 2022. And you can get that to Mr. Donata.
Donata.
And let's see.
I'll text him right now, Your Honor, and get him off mute if you would like.
Well, I mean, as long as he can hear, once you can give him his reset date, that'll be fine.
Yes, Your Honor. I've relayed the offers to him.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Paget, I think this is your only case. Is that correct?
Well, I think it might be. Do I have
let's see.
I think I might have one more, Your Honor, on James Timothy Barnes.
Yeah, I saw Barnes.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now I see a Sherman Barnes.
It's James T. Barnes, which I show in your court this morning for an announcement.
Yes, he's on. Yeah, he's here. I want you to get Mr. Barnes. James.
Yeah, I'll just hold off till we get him in the courtroom, Your Honor.
Okay. And I was just, I'm gonna remove Mr. Donata since we finished with his case.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'll contact him just to make sure he heard everything. I'm sure he did.
Okay, this is cause number 321750. Case is styled the State of Texas versus James T. Barnes or James Timothy Barnes. Mr. Barnes, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Barnes?
I'm good.
That's good. Mr. Barnes, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Mr. James Paget, who is appearing via Zoom. Mr. Paget, well, first of all, Mr. Barnes, how are you doing?
I'm good.
That's good. Now, Mr. Paget, what is your announcement in Mr. Barnes' case?
Your Honor, we have a court date coming up, which one of his big problems here on this MTRP is a case that he's picked up in Orange County. That case is set within the next month to month and a half. So if you would give me about 45 days, we should know the outcome on the Orange County case, which is going to.
Let me give you, I'm gonna give you 60 days.
That's fine, Your Honor.
Yeah. Go ahead on, give him 60. Okay, it's gonna be reset to July 29th of 2022. Mr. Paget, your reset will be sent to you. And this will conclude your case. Mr. Paget, you're free to go. And Mr. Barnes, you can get your reset here in court on the far end. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go. You have a blessed day. And Mr. Paget, you have a blessed day as well.
You have a blessed day too, Your Honor. Thank you.
You're welcome. Mr. Howard. Okay. Court is in session and cause number 329896. The case is styled the state of Texas versus Mistel Raina Howard.
Mr. Renee.
Okay, Mistel Renee Howard. How you doing, Ms. Howard? That's good. Ms. Howard, would you please raise your right hand? Ms. Howard, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Ms. Howard, you may put your hand down. Ms. Howard, you're here represented by your attorney, Ms. Marva Provo. Ms. Provo, do you waive a record in Ms. Howard's case?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Howard, I have before me a motion to revoke your probation. This motion alleges that on November 19 of 2021, that you were tried in the County Court at Law Number 2 of Jefferson County, Texas, for the offense of criminal trespassing. The evidence, the court found the evidence was sufficient to beyond a reasonable doubt to support a finding of guilt for the offense of criminal trespassing. However, the court deferred adjudicating your guilt and placed you on unadjudicated probation for a period of 6 months. On January 28 of 2022, the state filed a motion to revoke your unadjudicated probation. In this motion, there are 2 allegations. Well, three allegations. State, are you waiving allegations 1 and 3?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Howard, the state is abandoning allegations 1 and 3. And so they are only proceeding on allegation number 2. Allegation number 2 alleges that you, Mistel Renee Howard, failed to never become intoxicated or under the influence of any intoxicating substance on or about January 21st of 2022 in Jefferson County, Texas, that you, the said Ms. Stella Renee Howard, did then and there become intoxicated and under the influence of intoxicating substance in violation of condition 13 of your probation order. Is that true or not true? Now, Ms. Howard, are you pleading true to allegation number 2 freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
And are you pleading true because it is true?
Yes.
Ms. Howard, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. Ms. Howard, do you recognize this document? On page 2 of the same document, Ms. Howard, there are a set of initials, and the initials are MRH. They're on a line next to a box that's checked MTRP, which means motion to revoke probation, true to allegation number 2. Did you place your initials on this line?
I didn't.
On page 3 of the same document, Ms. Howard, there's a signature above the line that's titled defendant. Is that your signature? On the next document, which is titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, Ms. Howard, do you recognize this document?
I do.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
It is.
There are 2 boxes that's checked at the top of this document. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargaining case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
I do.
The second box states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that? Now, Ms. Howard, before you signed the initials, these documents, did your attorney, Ms. Provo, go over these documents with you?
She did.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
I did.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
They are.
Ms. Howard, are you a citizen of the United States?
I am.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit number 1. State, you like to offer State's Exhibit number 1?
Yes, Your Honor, and State's Exhibit 2. Oh,
This
wait,
is the MTRP.
never mind, Judge.
Yeah,
I'll withdraw the request.
Okay.
For Exhibit 2.
No objection.
okay, no objection. State's Exhibit number 1 will be admitted.
We don't need it.
Ms. Provo,
Yes, Your Honor.
you've advised and counseled Ms. Howard. Is there any evidence that she is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Howard, your attorney, Ms. Provo, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with her representation?
I am.
Has she provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
She is.
Okay. Ms. Howard, I will accept your plea of truth to allegation number 2. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. And your probation, your unadjudicated probation is hereby revoked. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
Your Honor, the agreement is for 4 days' time served with court costs to be taxed and retired.
Ms. Howard, the state is offering that you serve 4 days in the Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not have to serve any more time in the Jefferson County Jail because you've already spent 4 days in Jefferson County Jail. Therefore, you'll be given credit for time served. The court cost in this case is $67, but you will not have to pay the $67 because the time that you spent in jail has already been paid it off. Therefore, the court cost will be taxed and retired. Ms. Howard, do you understand the state's offer?
I do.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
I do.
And do you accept the state's offer?
I do.
Okay, Ms. Howard, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Ms. Howard, this will conclude your case. You're going to stand on the X next to your attorney and follow the directions of our court clerk. Once you finish following her directions, you'll be free to go. You have a blessed day. And Ms. Provo, I think This is your last case. You'll be free to go as well, and you have a blessed day. Yes, you may be excused. Ms. Howard, you can stand on the X.
Is your right thumb in the blue square all the time? So this is your treatment, 4 days time served. And on the first floor, the county post office, you go get your cash form back. Okay? With ID.
We get John Guillory.
They're gonna need it downstairs if Ms. Cover doesn't go with you.
We're in session in cause number 331154, case of style of state of Texas versus John Angel Guillory. Mr. Guillory, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Okay, how are you doing, Mr. Guillory?
I'm fine.
I'm doing fine. Mr. Guillory, you're represented here by your attorney, Mr. Charles McIntosh, who is appearing via Zoom. Mr. McIntosh, how are you doing?
Doing well, Judge. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. McIntosh, what is your announcement in Mr. Guillory's case?
I don't know what Mr. Ham's schedule is like for today. I don't know how many people are left in the courtroom. If Mr. Ham could call me, we could have some type of resolution on this case today, Your Honor, if we could pass this for 15 or 20 minutes.
Okay, I'll hold it. Okay, Mr. Guillory.
Thank you, Judge.
It's gonna be on hold. You can have a seat out in the hall or in the courtroom, either one.
Okay.
Okay, you're welcome. Okay, McIntosh. Did anybody hear from Mr. Gilthorpe? His client.
I did.
His client.
Mr. Gilthorpe is on the CC3 jail run.
Oh, could we get Jennifer to come in? Call Jennifer.
I'll go and call Mr. McIntosh now.
Oh, okay. Let's see, who else do we have? We have anybody pro se?
Yeah, okay, couple.
Okay, let's get the pro se's in and then we can call them up.
Yes, sir.
Okay, court is in session in cause number 322452. Case to style of state of Texas versus Rolanda DeAndre Jackson.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Jackson, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Jackson?
I'm doing fine.
Okay, Mr. Jackson,
Your Honor, for the court's information, we've conferred with the probation department, and we're following their recommendation to dismiss the case. I prepared to dismiss earlier. It should be ready.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on a minute. Jackson. Okay, Mr. Jackson, the state is filing a motion to dismiss your, motion to revoke your probation. I'm signing the motion right now. And once it prints off in a few seconds, you'll be able to get a copy.
Yes, sir.
Once you get a copy, you'll be free to go. And you have a blessed day. You're gonna stand at that window right here, this one? Yeah. It's printing off right now. Hold on a minute. I can't like basically talk to you about your case. Yeah, your case has been dismissed. Congratulations, you're no longer on probation. You're free to go and you have a blessed day. Okay.
Can I get a
Yeah, Mr. Lindsay, yeah, your mic is on mute, but you can hear me. We still have a couple of cases to go through, and as soon as we finish with these cases, we'll be able to get to you. So just hold on a little bit, okay?
Your Honor, the state has submitted.
Ms. Carr, we're in session in cause number 327796. Case is style of State of Texas versus Lisa Marie Carr. The state has just informed the court that it's filed a dismissal on this case. And I'm signing the dismissal right now. And once I sign the dismissal, we'll print a copy and you'll be able to get a copy before you leave.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome, Ms. Carr. Ms. Carr, you could stand on the 4X.
Thank you.
All right, you have a blessed day as well. David Smith. Motion to revoke probation docket. Um, This is cause number 321222. The case is styled the state of Texas versus David Fred James Smith. Mr. Smith, is that your full name? Okay, now, Mr. Smith, I see there's a note on here that the case was reset for you to appear in person. Is that correct? So I guess the first time you appeared was via Zoom?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now, Mr. Smith, I have before me a motion to revoke probation. And this motion alleges that on January 29th of 2020, that you were tried in this court for the offense of driving while intoxicated. You were found guilty and your punishment was assessed at 180 days confinement in Jefferson County Jail and a fine of $1,000. The confinement was probated for a period of 2 years. On February 8th of 2021, the state filed a motion to revoke your probation. And in this motion, there are 5 allegations. Now, if your probation is revoked, Mr. Smith, you can get up to 180 days in the Jefferson County Jail. Do you understand that? Now, Mr. Smith, you have a right to have an attorney. In this regard, you have, as a defendant, you have 3 options. Number 1, you may hire an attorney. Do you understand that? Number 2, if you do not have enough money to hire an attorney, you may request an attorney be appointed to represent you. Do you understand that? And number 3, you may represent yourself. Do you understand that? Now, if you want an attorney to represent you and have enough money to hire an attorney, the case will be reset to give you time to do so. If you want an attorney and do not have the money to hire one, you will need to fill out a financial questionnaire so that the proper person can determine whether or not to appoint an attorney to represent you. You may not ask the prosecutor about your case. You may not speak to the prosecutor about your case unless you sign a written waiver of your right to be represented by an attorney. Be aware that there are dangers to self-representation. Waiving your right to an attorney and representing yourself may result in a worse outcome for you and your case, including the loss of significant legal rights and opportunities relating to military service, possession of a firearm, housing and public benefits, child custody, immigration status for non-citizens, and employment. If you choose to proceed without an attorney, you may change your mind at any time and may request counsel from the court. Now, you'll be given a document that is titled Judge's Explanations of Rights to Defendants Without Attorney that contains all the information that I've just read to you. At the bottom of that document, it states defendant's choice, mark initials next to only one choice. If your choice is, I want to reset this case to hire my own attorney, then you'll put your initials on the first line to the left. If you've already hired an attorney, then you'll put your initials on the second line to the left and the name of the attorney on the line to the right. If your choice is, I want to apply for court-appointed counsel, then you'll put your initials on the third line to the left. If you've already been appointed a court-appointed counsel in this case, then you'll put your initials on the fourth line to the left and the name of the court-appointed attorney on the line to the right. If your choice is, I want to waive my right to an attorney and represent myself, then you'll put your initials on the fifth line to the left. Once you finish initialing one of the 5 lines, you will sign at the bottom of this document on the line that's titled defendant. And you will date today's date on the line that says date, and today's date is April 20, 9th of 2022. Mr. Bailiff, could you give him a copy of the judge's explanation of rights to defendants? And you can have a seat at that table right there in the chair, and you can read and sign that document. Okay. Danica Zitar or Denicia Zitar? Okay, the court is in session and calls numbers 323-254 and calls number 323-734. Both cases are styled the state of Texas versus Denicia Deshawn Zitar. Ms. Zitar, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Ms. Zitar? Now, Ms. Zitar, I see that your case was reset to give you an opportunity to hire your attorney. Have you hired your attorney?
No, sir. I would like to represent myself.
Okay, well, she has to get a judge's explanation and a waiver. And just, she can have a seat. You can go back and have a seat, read and sign those documents, and then we'll ask you to come back up. Mr. Provost, John Washington didn't show up. Huh?
It's reset.
It was reset. Was Blue at reset too?
Yes, sir. I think I missed the one that,
What about Carrie? What about Carrie Dennis?
What document?
I'm still on MTRP. I'm just going straight down on page 2 on the Rashad Carter.
That's what McIntosh is on Zoom for, I thought.
No, he was talking to them about another case. Okay.
I have, on Kerry Dennis,
Yeah.
you have noticed that Mr. Dennis is in custody in Harris County.
Well, okay. Okay.
And his attorney is gonna speak to you about that.
Okay. Okay. So he's in Harris County. Okay. What about Aaron McDonald? Oh, he's here. Mr. McDonald, would you come forward? The court is in session in 2 cases. First case is cause number 327-764. Second case is cause number 331-488. Both cases are styled the state of Texas versus Aaron Jamal McDonald. Mr. McDonald, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Mr. McDonald, I have one of your cases is a motion to revoke probation, and that is cause number 327-764. And Mr. McDonald, I have before me a motion to revoke probation in that case. And this motion alleged that on July 12th of 2021, in County Court of Law number 2, that you were found guilty and assessed punishment. Well, you was found guilty for the offense of driving while intoxicated with an alcohol concentration level of 0.15 or more. And punishment was assessed at 90 days confinement in Jefferson County Jail and a fine of $750 in accordance with the provisions of Article 42.12 of the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure. And your confinement was probated for a period of 1 year. So what that basically means, you were placed on probation for 1 year. On December 8th of 2021, the state filed a motion to revoke your probation. In this motion, there are 5 allegations. If any one of these allegations is found to be true, the court can revoke your probation. If your probation is revoked, you can be sentenced up to 90 days in the Jefferson County Jail. Mr. McDonald, do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. McDonald, as a defendant in a criminal case, you have two criminal cases. Your second case is cause number 331488, and it's for failure to identify. Now, Mr. McDonald, as a defendant in a criminal case, you have a right to have an attorney. In regards to your right to have an attorney, you have three options. One, you may hire an attorney. Do you understand that option?
Yes, sir.
Number two, if you do not have enough money to hire an attorney, you may request an attorney to be appointed to represent you. Do you understand that option?
Yes, sir.
And number three, you may represent yourself. Do you understand that option?
Yes, sir.
Okay. If you want an attorney to represent you and have enough money to hire an attorney, the case will be reset to give you time to do so. If you want an attorney and do not have the money to hire one, you will need to fill out a financial questionnaire so that the proper person can determine whether or not to appoint an attorney to represent you. You may not speak to the prosecutor about your case unless you sign a written waiver of your right to be represented by an attorney. Be aware that there are dangers to self-representation. Waiving your right to an attorney and representing yourself may result in a worse outcome for you and your case, including the loss of significant legal rights and opportunities relating to military service, possession of a firearm, housing and public benefits, child custody, immigration status for non-citizens, and employment. If you choose to proceed without an attorney, you may change your mind at any time and may request counsel from the court. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Now, at the bottom of the document that you'll be given, the document is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without an Attorney. At the bottom of this document, it reads, Defendant's Choice. Mark initials next to only one choice. If your choice is, I want to reset this case to hire my own attorney, then you'll put your initials on the first line to the left. If you've already hired an attorney to represent you, then you put your initials on the second line to the left and the name of the attorney on the line to the right. If your choice is, I want to apply for court-appointed counsel, then you put your initials on the third line to the left. If you've already been appointed a court-appointed counsel, in this case, then you put your initials on the fourth line to the left and the name of the attorney on the line to the right. If your choice is, I want to waive my right to an attorney to represent myself, then you place your initials on the fifth line to the left. Once you're finished placing your initials on one of the 5 lines, then you will sign at the bottom of this document on the line that says defendant, your signature, and then you will date it today's date on the line that says date, and today's date is April 29, 2022. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, that other gentleman, he could have a seat back there and let him sit at the table. Okay. Miss Okay, Mr. Lindsay. Mr. Lindsay, on Brandon's son, you could take your mic off of mute. Am I on? Mr. Lindsay. Mike Lindsay, you could take your mic off of mute. Attorney Mike Lindsay. Yeah. Okay, it's off of mute now, but your video is off. But okay, you had it. There you go. Mr. Lindsay, how are you doing? Mr. Lindsay, can you hear me? Mr. Lindsay, can you hear me? Yeah, he must have took his volume off.
You want me to call his phone?
I don't have one.
I don't have it.
This is my word.
Yeah, Mr. Lindsay, can you hear me? Mr. Lindsay.
Judge, are you speaking to me?
Yes, yes. Okay, can you hear me? Yeah, we speaking to you. Yeah, you can't. Yeah, you can't hear me. Yeah, we can hear you, Mr. Lindsay. Okay, Mr. Gonzalez, can you hear me? He's on the other end. His mic is on mute. Mr. Gonzalez, mic is on mute. Rafael Gonzalez? Mr. Gonzalez, can you hear me? Take your mic off of mute.
¿Sí me escuchan?
Okay.
Okay.
Is Jennifer still available? She must have came in, but yeah. We just need to tell him his case is gonna get reset.
I think Mr. Lindsay's on Zoom with us. Could you let me know? We can't, I don't think he can hear us, but we can hear him.
His mic is on mute right now.
Okay.
No, Gilthorpe is his yeah, Mr.
Can you
Lindsay.
hear me, Your Honor?
Can you hear me? Mr. Lindsay, can you hear me?
There's somebody showing it.
Mr. Lindsay,
I could hear you there for a second, Your Honor. Thank you.
all right. Just hold on a minute. Okay, tell Mr. Gonzalez. Okay, we have here Ms. Jennifer Razi. She's going to interpret for Mr. Rafael Gonzalez. Roger, do you swear or affirm to interpret English to Spanish and Spanish to English? So if you got,
Yes, Judge.
you may put your hand down. Mr. Ask him if his name is Rafael Gonzalez.
Su nombre completo es Rafael Gonzalez.
Yes, yo sí.
Yes.
Okay. Tell Mr. Gonzalez that his attorney, now, what, did we hear from Mr. Gilthorpe? That Mr. Gil,
He's doing the jail.
oh, yeah, okay, yeah. Tell him his attorney is in another, is in another court. And so this case is gonna have to be reset.
Okay, dice que su abogado está en otro tribunal y los van a cambiar la cita del corte para usted, ¿ok?
Ajá, sí, es lo que me dijo el abogado que iba a cambiar la fecha de corte.
Ok.
Okay, get June 17.
17 de junio, lo van a cambiar la corte, ¿ok?
17 de junio.
17 de junio.
Ok, gracias.
Tell him stay in contact with his lawyer.
Dice el juez que nomás lo sigues contactando su abogado, ¿ok?
Sí, está bien. Muchas gracias.
Okay.
Dice, okay, thank you.
Tell him he's free to go and for him to have
Thank you so much.
Dice que tenga buen día.
Gracias, igualmente.
Dice, thank you.
All right, and thank you, Mr. Rogers.
Yes.
Okay, now, Mr. Lindsay.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Lindsay, we're back on your petition, which is cause number 0136947. You filed a motion for a non-disclosure in this case, as well as a Fourth Amendment petition for non-disclosure. The court has reviewed the petition. Now, I know you had two cases listed in your motion for non-disclosure, and the first case is cause number 281029, and the second case is cause number 276590. Now, the first case, Mr. Lindsay, the first case, cause number, hold on a minute. Yeah, your first case is cause number 276590, and the case is style of State of Texas versus Brandon Keith's son. And the record reflect that on June 9th of 2009, Mr. Sun was granted deferred adjudication probation for the offense of possession of marijuana. And on December 17th of 2010, I see a motion for non-pertunct where his probation was revoked. It revoked his unadjudicated probation, and he was placed on straight probation for that offense. And in that case, he received a discharge of community supervision on June 19th of 2013. Okay. Now, in the next case, cause number 328029, Mr. Brandon Keith's son was convicted of the Class B misdemeanor offense of possession of marijuana, and he was assessed 90 days confinement, a fine of $200. The confinement probation was probated for a period of 1 year, and the date of that was, as I said earlier, December 17th of 2010. Now you're asking for a non-disclosure on both these cases. Also, on the second case, he received his discharge of community supervision on June 19 of 2013. Now, from reading the statutes, under the Texas Department of Safety, let's see, Texas Government Code, section section 411.073B2, in order for, or 411.0735B, specifically what it says is that in order for a person to be eligible for a non-disclosure under either one of these provisions, that a person have never been previously convicted or placed on deferred adjudicated community supervision for another offense other than a traffic offense that is punishable by fine only. And so because he has two cases, the first case, obviously he didn't have a conviction before the first case. Well, yeah, because, but the second case, which occurred after the first case, he's not eligible for a non-disclosure because he was convicted or given deferred. He was actually given deferred, and then that was revoked. So he received a conviction in the previous case. So that makes him ineligible to get a non-disclosure in the second case. Mr. Lindsay, were you able to follow me on that?
Unfortunately, I think I did follow you on that. Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So on that, but he's not eligible for a non-disclosure on the second case. The first case, I don't think there is there's not a previous case where he got deferred on that case, and then it was revoked, but it was not it was the same case. It wasn't let's see, never been previously convicted for another offense. Yeah, it was the same offense. So he may be eligible for a non-disclosure in cause number
276-590.
Yeah, 327-6590, but not 328-1029. Yeah, that's the way that's the way I read it. Because with those provisions say that he has to have never been previously convicted or placed on deferred adjudication community service for another offense other than, that is punishable. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So he can so what I'm gonna have to do, I'm gonna rule that he's eligible on the first case, but not the second case, and so I'm gonna have to draft up an order. Unless, let me do this here. Once you draft up an order and get it to the court, and then I'll take a look at it.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. All right, you have a blessed day.
Thank you. You have a great weekend, Your Honor.
Same to you. I see Mr. McIntosh is back. Okay, we need to. Okay, this is cause number 330-462. State of Texas versus Eugene Booth. Mr. Booth, how are you doing? Okay, Mr. Booth, I see here there's a note that you signed up for BIP. Was that done or is it scheduled or? Who's the prosecutor on
I
that?
am judge. I'm looking in the file right now.
Get Irene McDonald. Irene McDonald. Irene, you're gonna reset him. You gotta put his cause number on the top. He wants to hire. I think he's on, yeah. He had 2 cases.
Yeah, his fifth application was denied.
Oh, his BIP was denied?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now, Mr. Okay, now your BIP application was denied. And so, Mr. Booth, check his file to see, are you representing yourself? Are you pro se? Okay. So, hold on a minute, we're going to make sure the paperwork is there. For cause number 330-462. Booth just has 1 case.
Order setting bond, waiver of counsel, judge's explanation.
Okay.
Twice, both of those.
Okay, so he does have a waiver. So in this right now, your case is set on the announcement docket. What are the announcement? Are you going to trial on your case? Well, have you received your discovery? Have you been to the DA's office to see the evidence? Is what I'm asking. Okay, so what you need to do, we can allow you to make arrangements with the prosecutor so they can allow you to have access to the evidence. Okay, so what we're gonna do, I'm gonna reset this case, keep it on the announcement docket to give you an opportunity to see the evidence that the state has against, since you're representing yourself. All right? Have a seat in the chair with the black and yellow tape, and once he finishes at the window, you'll go to the window. Holly Fields. Mr. Fields, you represented by attorney Charles Rojas? That's what I see here is a note here saying that Charles Rojas is your attorney. Have you talked to your attorney? Okay, hold on a minute. Page 2, Holly Fields. See, he has a felony case. Tom Burbank is on his felony. Page 2 of the announcement. He's the 3rd person from the top. It says resisting arrest, search, transfer. They have Charles Rojas next to it.
must have forgot to tell me that when he puts it with the felony, if he has a different felony attorney. But I can call Mr. Rojas and ask him. I don't know.
Okay, Mr. Fields, you're gonna stand over there in front of our court coordinator. She's gonna get in contact with your attorney. Get his announcement.
We were seeing the ones, so. I'm sorry, Judge. 326, 446. He has two cases.
He has two cases.
What happened? Is this out?
Yes.
Yes, he has two cases. They reset one and not the other one. He gave us one number. So, yeah, his case is reset until,
Reset this one on the same date.
and I'll give him a copy in just a second.
What's that date?
It's gonna be 8/1.
Okay. Your case is gonna be set to August 1st, along with your felony case and your other misdemeanor case. Get in contact with your attorney, Mr. Charles Rojas. No, it's, well, okay. Get in contact with your attorney and your felony. That's your felony attorney is Tom Burbank.
Your felony is set the same day I'm getting ready to.
But make sure you got a bondsman too.
August the 1st.
You got a bondsman too. Stay in contact with your attorney and your bondsman, okay? Or
Okay.
a court is in session and cause numbers 327-402, cause number 327-404, cause number 327-406. All three cases are styled State of Texas versus James Sidney Johnson. Mr. Johnson, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Johnson?
Yes, fine, sir.
That's good. Mr. Johnson, I see here your cases was reset, give you an opportunity to hire an attorney. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Have you hired your attorney?
Yes, sir. I got my papers.
Who-
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can just tell me. You hired Auburn? Okay,
Trina-
it was reset?
Yeah, Trina had a sticky on my thing. Yes, he called Auburn, he said he had Auburn.
Okay. Stand over there. She's gonna give you a reset on your case.
So I'm okay.
You fine.
All right. Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Let me give you a copy of this.
Judge, I thought I needed a civil rights attorney. I didn't know I needed a criminal attorney.
Okay.
I've been trying to get a criminal, I mean, a civil rights attorney.
Oh. Miss Denisha Zitar. Ms. Zitar, would you please raise your right hand? Ms. Zitar, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God? Ms. Zitar, you may put your hand down. Now, Ms. Zitar, I have two cases before me. First case is cause number 323-254. And cause number 323-734. Both cases are styled of State of Texas versus Denisha Deshawn Zitar. Ms. Zitar, I have before me two documents. First document is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without an Attorney. Ms. Zitar, do you recognize this document? Is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
Are these your initials on the line stating you want to apply for a court-appointed attorney?
Yes, sir.
I mean, no, that you want to waive your right to an attorney to represent yourself.
Yes, sir.
I also have another document before me that's titled Waiver of Counsel for Purposes of Entering a Guilty Plea or Proceeding to Trial. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on this document?
Yes, sir.
Now, Ms. Zetal, prior to signing and initialing these documents that I just mentioned, did you read the documents?
Yes, sir.
And did you understand what you read?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Okay, Ms. Zetal. Okay, Ms. Zetal. You waive your right to an attorney and represent yourself from signing the waiver that you signed. And we'll give you an opportunity to talk to one of the prosecutors. All right, here you go. Ms. Zetal, you can just have a seat. One of the prosecutors will talk to you. Yeah, that's Mr. McIntyre's client. There you go. Mr. Ham and Mr. McIntosh. Mr. McIntosh? Mr. Guillory, you can come forward.
Yes, Judge.
Okay, you, Mr. McIntosh, you and Mr. Ham has had an opportunity to confer in Mr. Guillory's case, which is cause number 331154. What's your announcement?
Judge, if we could get a short reset on this case, Mr. Ham needs to run something up the chain here. If the court could give him the Zoom number, that way he can zoom in next time, I think that would be most helpful. But I'm going to be at the courthouse. Let's see, I have cases in your court again on Monday, May 16th.
Okay, we're gonna reset it for Monday, May 16th. And we're gonna give Mr. Zetal, you have ability to zoom in?
Mr. Guillory.
I mean, Mr. Guillory? You have ability to zoom in? Okay, okay, we're gonna give you the,
ID number.
yeah, the ID, she'll give it to you. You're gonna stand on the X in front of the court coordinator. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, you're welcome. Mr. McIntosh, is this your, yeah, do you have another case? I thought I saw your name.
At 1:30, Judge, we do, yes.
Oh, well, it's been brought to my attention from the probation officer, Mr. Gary Gilliam, that your client in that case that's set at 1:30 is currently incarcerated in the Harris County Jail.
Oh, okay, well, that explains why we couldn't get a hold of him.
Didn't know that.
Well, that's what Mr. Gary Gilliam just, he announced.
So
So that's
fine.
that's gonna have to be reset.
Yes, sir. That's right.
Yeah, if Mr. Ham could figure out why he's in the Harris County Jail to determine his length of time. I mean, it just whatever the charge is. If it's a felony, then we know it's going to be a while. If it's some sort of smaller misdemeanor, he'll probably get out sooner because I may need to get off this case.
Yeah, we don't know what the status is in Harris County. I mean, court dates and I don't know. But I don't know if they can, maybe Mr. Gilliam might be able to find that. He found out.
I don't believe he has that.
Okay, no, okay, we don't have that information. So what if I give you a 30-day reset, is that too late for the time that?
No, Judge, that's sufficient because if I can't get a hold of him by then, what I'll do is I'll just file a motion to withdraw on the case.
Okay, well, yeah, matter of fact, he has a warrant too.
Yes, Judge, for I believe another misdemeanor in Jefferson County.
Yeah. Yeah, you do that. Yeah, okay. 30 days. Was that June 17th? Yeah, that's the standard 30 days, huh? Okay, Mr. McIntosh, this is your last case. You're free to go and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Judge. You as well.
Okay.